Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the Texacast. This is James. We just got done recording our 8th episode. I want to say thanks to all the guys that participated. This was by far the largest group that has done the podcast, so I want to say thanks to all those dudes. Also, I want to say thanks to Jason Hernandez once again for the music that he did for it. I'll keep thanking you, man. So look him up on DJ Protege or Cracker Nuts. You can look him up on Facebook, Twitter. He's got music out there. Look him up. But yeah, there's a glitch in the matrix though. We had a recording malfunction midway through. I just covered it up with a transformation sound. You'll hear it. You didn't miss anything. It's just a small glitch, so we had to cut some stuff out. But anyway, hope you enjoy. Look forward to doing more. So have fun. See you later.
Autobots, roll out!
I forget what number this is. I remember forgetting last time. I think it's 8 or 9, and I could find out, but I'm too lazy to right now. So hey, nevertheless, thanks for being on this podcast. I think this is the most people we've actually had on the podcast. So that's going to be fun. Organizing all that means it's going to be twice as long.
Heyo.
But yeah, so we had our meetup today. And Cole, you came all the way from San Antonio for the meetup, right?
Yeah, I had a prototype of Eddie's that he let us borrow for our Ekman's Toy Show down here back in July, and wasn't only able to get up there till today.
Cool.
But it's always worth the drive try to get up there to hang out with you guys, talk with you guys, especially having some barbecue. Damn good barbecue.
That's always a plus.
Yeah.
I appreciate them letting us have that location.
I was telling Josh, you guys are starting to outgrow that place almost.
Yeah.
We didn't even.
It's been worse. It's been worse.
We did have a big group today. What was it? Last time I think we had a really small group.
Yeah.
It seemed like, but this time was a lot of people. Even some people. I mean, there's always somebody at the meetup that I don't recognize, and this time it really felt like there was a lot of people I didn't recognize. But I'm just bad with faces. I'm looking at Jeff's face right now, and he looks different. I don't know.
To die down once they say something about about taking up too many tables or something like that, and then we started selecting like what figures to bring, so people just kind of died out after that. So
Yeah, there has been a little bit of a decline on some members, but of course too right now. Keep in mind it's summertime. A lot of people have their kids right now, as well as planned vacations and whatnot. So
And don't forget the river is just south of y'all, and so it's...
good point.
Well, so let's do some quick meetup talk. The first thing I always like to do with the meetup, now that we are having a theme of bring this specific guy, we didn't have many shockwaves, but we had a lot. I'm just going to go down the list here. Name your favorite shockwave, be it toy or be it fictional character, or cartoon or comic book, and there's a big difference between like the comic book shockwave and the G1 cartoon shockwave, isn't there? So that's go down the list real quick, and we'll name everybody that you like. So Robert, why don't you go ahead and first? What's your favorite shockwave?
The fans toys version, of course, and yeah, that's the highest on the list.
All right, Jeff.
And my favorite one is actually from that show, and it comes a little set, and it's got Predaking, a little one inside this
The lab set.
inside some sort of big test tube thing.
That was the SDCC set.
Yeah.
Cole, what you got?
I think my favorite still has been... It's actually kind of a tie between the animated and the Prime Shockwave.
Ooh, good call.
I did like that animated. It was pretty cool. The toy was weird. I kind of wish I'd bought the toy, but I kept looking at it in the store, and I was like, this is kind of down. But
Did Josh?
well, Eddie, what about you? You got a favorite shockwave?
G1, dude.
G-Waner.
I think we lost Josh.
No, I'm still here.
Okay, never mind.
He's just quiet.
No, your face is like
He's
Logan.
buffering right now.
Josh,
The
are you
video
able to say your favorite Shockwave?
Well, straight out of G1, baby. Um, the RID Shockwave is just a badass, but the G1 is the best. He's the scientist. He's freaking great.
He cameoed on Alien.
Exactly.
It was actually
He was
movie set.
He was multi-talented.
Joe, what about you?
I have to agree with Josh. That's without the G1 version, well, the cartoon version. That's the only one I have now. I thought that the movie, what was it, Revenge of the Fallen or
Dark of the Moon.
Dark of the Moon. I thought that was pretty cool with the big snake thing, but
The worm.
I mean, the worm or whatever it is. But right now, I'm anticipating that fans toy, so hopefully that will sway my opinion once I get one in my hands.
Big Wave's awesome.
Sorry for that.
Steve, go for it.
Available for pre-order on Toy.
Quake Wave, and then Prime, and then FOC. I think I'd pick my top 3.
I always did like the Fall of Cybertron Shockwave. I just don't think he had enough quote unquote airtime.
Nah, but it's a good little toy. It's a good pop mode.
Yeah. For me, it would be G1, but I mean, if I'm going to wrap it up and point at one specific thing, I would say the fans' toys. I have them. I've had them for a while. I got them on the 3rd run, and I love that thing. He's so awesome. But the whole, G1, for me, it's kind of in between the cartoon version and the comic book version. I think they're both kind of the same. Obviously, they have different plans. The G1 comic book, he just wants to kill them all. But I've always liked that style. So, but can anybody tell me quickly about Shock Blast? How exactly did that happen? How did Hasbro go from making Shockwave to Shock Blast?
Loss of license.
Copyright? Yeah. They couldn't copyright the name Shockwave anymore.
Until the movie came along is when they were able to bring it back.
Well, what about the movie? All right, the first one, 2007.
No. When was it?
Because they had Shockwave and animated before Dark of the Moon.
Okay, so I guess they got the licensing before then.
Yeah.
But I do know.
I think it was enough time that passed that they were able to acquire it back.
Well, so he started becoming known as, on toy boxes, a Decepticon Shockwave.
Yes.
Just like Autobot Jazz.
Yes, they can start throwing their faction in front of them and call it the same thing.
10% difference.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about interesting things in the meetup. First thing we'll do, I think this will be quick, but did anybody besides Eddie bring something that you thought was interesting that you'd like to bring up real quick?
How about Alternity Optimus Prime? I love that one.
What? He's not the truck. What is a truck? That was
That's alternators.
That's alternators.
It's also
So what
it's
is
a GTR.
Okay. And that's a Nissan GTR?
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I was trying to think if there's anything that I saw specifically, and not offhand, but I wasn't there really long enough to peruse.
Quinn brought GoBots.
Did he? G1?
Yeah.
I mean, original GoBots?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's good seeing those old guys. They're like all derpy and stuff, but I mean, they were pretty neat back in the day.
It could have been worse. It could have been the Z-Bots.
Right?
Let's see. Okay, well, how about interesting things that Eddie brought? Does anybody want to speak about those? I mean, really, do we? Is there anything interesting there?
He brought an awesome Dinobot, Planet X's take on Slag.
Yes.
Oh, it's looking so good.
They look really cool, but I don't know. I'm not going to be buying them. They do look beautiful though, but I got to limit.
I am.
We'll buy everything Planet X puts out.
I was so tempted to snap up the Combiner Wars Hunters repaints of the Fembots because those are 10 times more pretty in person than they have been in the pictures.
What is it? What y'all think of the Voodoo guys? Or the Ironhide and Ratchet?
So far, it is tight. definitely. That will be on one of my shelves.
Yeah, the backpack packs up a lot better than I thought it would.
It looks good. I'm not gonna say it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look good because it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Window feet are a little weird, but
It's better than the depends.
you know, if you look at the animation, he had sort of a big,
Diaper.
yeah.
It's like E Honda, you know. It's like one of the sumo.
And you know what? Even the toughest guy had incontinence issues.
He was on the go.
Where else?
Well,
did
he was trying to play Exxon Valdez, and no one wanted a piece of it.
he had to have somewhere to store all those the ammo, weaponry, whatever.
Energon overflow.
That's not a diaper.
Packing
That's
heat.
for all the different fluids he had.
I'm pretty sure he had an oil leak or two here and there on the battlefield.
As long as it didn't leak all over like a human being. Stop lubricating on the human being, Bumblebee.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Thank you, Michael Bay.
Bay versus Jackass bots.
Greatest movies ever.
what's up with the-
Well, the first one set a precedence, and the others have just failed. It's good to see it, but at the same time, it wasn't what everybody expected it to be. They were just all hyped that it was actually a live-action movie.
Yeah.
And then number 2 came around and just screwed everybody.
Devastator.
I like Galvatron.
My nephew's sitting in here listening, so he might try and poke his head in every now and then. But so, Eddie? Who are the small guys? The small bots he brought?
Oh,
They're from Iron Factory.
Iron Factory.
I think they're the. I
Or
don't know
with
if
the
it's
Dinobots.
IDW, but it's the Dinobots, yeah.
The Dreamwave.
Yeah, Dreamwave. It's one of those.
Yeah, they turn into like tanks and other kind of military type vehicles that represent the dinos that they turn into.
Yep.
Do you know? Okay.
So
I remember seeing those guys. I just don't recall exactly what they turn into or what kind of their alt modes are.
So it looked like the Grimlock, which, you know, I keyed in on it immediately. Looked like he's like the Platinum Edition War Within.
Yeah, it's all based off the War Within dinos.
Okay. They look really cool. Especially with getting off the dinos though. I don't know why. I'm just obsessed with that little tiny Overlord.
Yeah.
Because I don't have an Overlord and I'd like to have one, but I don't know. I don't know if I want a
I
small.
want to touch a G1 Overlord in hand. I actually want to have that thing in my hands just for a second.
The detail on this is really nice.
Well, if there's anything else you want to say on those, what is it, on the prototypes, go for it. Otherwise, we'll move on.
All right, there was that DX9.
Oh, the blur.
Buzzing.
Buzzing.
With the weird rotation that's like underneath the knee on like the top of the calf. There's
Mhm.
rotation there. It looked weird, but when I started posing them, it actually was really interesting. The number of poses you could get them in, and like the positions are, it worked really good.
You can put him into all your favorite square dance moves.
You know what I wonder about it, if a lot of those joint movements are for the transformation,
It could be.
or if it's all for posing. I don't know.
It seems like it's going to be a mixture.
Yeah. Well, they definitely fixed the crotch plate. It's a
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was that piece.
it's a much better. Yeah, he's not wearing a sword in front of it anymore.
Someone might have said that was the long pole in the tent.
All right.
Support pole.
Well, let's go ahead and move on. So when I was coming up with topics, obviously we just had BotCon as well as SDCC, and the one thing that we are missing is where's the oncoming line of Combiner Wars? I mean, we know we got not Warpatron. Gee whiz! Now I'm starting to say third-party names. instead of the official. Bruticus. We know we got Bruticus coming. We saw that. And we were hoping for more, but really all we got, besides Skylinks, of course, which yay for him, all we really got was Scattershot. And
The G2 sets.
And Victorion.
Victorion, yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, I gotta say that
And-
Skylynx is gonna be the first Combiner Wars bot I buy.
You don't have any of them?
And I
And-
get the Takara Devastator. That's it.
Well, we're getting a lot of, and
Remix.
That was awesome.
Josh, you okay?
I don't think Josh even knows.
Yeah, I think his Skype just crashed.
And most of they were saying it's all up to Takara whether or not they want to loan the mold to the U.S. Hasbro.
My question is has anybody gotten the goal to actually question Hasbro on their incredible overusage of the molds, repaint after repaint after repaint?
You know, I don't think they actually tackled that.
Wow. Okay. Apparently, I'm the brave one,
You're the ballsy one, huh?
as always.
That seems like a relatively rude question to ask Hasbro. I mean, they're still providing us characters. They're just, reusing molds.
I absolutely, completely understand that. But there comes a point where the horse is dead, and I mean, usually with every line that we've ever been with, have gone through, the repaints come at the end.
Well,
and this time around, it's the opposite way, where the first 5 molds that we got, we got them a second round in wave 2 already. We started to see them, with the helicopter, especially. I can't
Alpha
even
Bravo.
Thank you, Alpha Bravo. He has been the most abused of all so far, as well as the Optimus.
So far, there's 6 of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
6 different molds that use that helicopter.
Mm-hmm. And on top of that, the whole fans' choice female combiner
Disaster.
It's absolute disaster. Is all repaints. It's.
Well, we all knew it was going to be repaints. It's just the thing that was mainly the disaster was the color palette and the way they did it.
I didn't. They're trying to say that people voted for the helicopter, and I find that is complete BS. I don't see how fans would vote for that stupid helicopter nonstop. They said it was one of the most requested figures in the vote cast. I'm like, no.
I can kind of believe that because Alpha Bravo was probably one of the best helicopters they have done in recent memory. As far as hardly any kibble, with the exception of the arms hanging out. What are you going to do about that?
Yeah, but at least they look like missiles when they're attached, so no complaints there at least. But I don't know. I guess you could say I'm the more daring one and just finally ask Hasbro, going, what's up? Do y'all not have designers? I mean, are y'all just being that lazy about it? What?
To me, it seems like they are being that lazy. I mean, they're able to get away with it because so many characters almost use the same pretty much base chassis that each of these Combiner Wars are using, and they can get away with it by calling it a different character kids don't know.
Well, exactly. This line is intended for kids. Like, I know they're trying to hit the adult collector market, and it sort of doesn't make sense the way they're marketing it with all these repaints. My thought is just vote with your wallet. Don't buy them if you don't want repaints.
Exactly.
They just seem so generic because the design choice was to make them combine and make them repaintable into like 10 different characters each. So none of them feels like the main bot. Like the Optimus Prime doesn't feel like Prime to me. I picked it up and looked at it. Like none of them feel right.
Well, that's the funny thing I think with Optimus Prime. That I think he was the afterthought. Motormaster was the first thought. They're thinking who we can repaint this into and get more.
Well, exactly. I mean, look, they're coming out with Skylynx. That's not the intention for that one. That mold is intended to be the core for Abominus and the core for Predaking.
But that Skylynx, like that hit my nostalgia hard enough that I'm getting Skylynx.
Well, that's exactly why they came out with Prime first, because Prime is one of the biggest sellers in the entire Hasbro lines. Every single time they release him,
like Skylynx is the only one that's looked good, and the Constructicons, but those were made to be Constructicons.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is with Prime, it's just the name that they're selling. It doesn't.
Correct.
That's all they're doing.
Well, the character does look very much like the IDW iteration.
This time around, though, he's also become one of the biggest shelf warmers for any prime ever. This is one prime I can definitely say that is not flying off the shelves.
Movie Prime.
Yeah, there are movie primes that did not sell as well as the Combiner Wars Prime has.
The last one that sold well was the Leader, Revenge of the Fallen. That's the last one I remember flying off the shelves.
I'll give you that.
You know, and honestly, I'm seeing a lot more Silver Bolts on the shelf right now than I am the Combiner Wars Prime. And those guys come together, don't they? Or, well, they did.
In the recent case revisions, it's been mainly Silverbolt.
Yeah. So what are we thinking about Victorian? Let's throw that out there and give a quick
pass.
Kill it with fire.
So the color palette is the fans' fault.
Yes,
the way Hasbro implemented it has something to do with it. But I really think once they get the final versions done, that it's going to look a little bit better. You can't believe that what they showed at SDCC is going to be final.
Well, then again, it's also hand-painted models there,
Correct.
too. But what I do like, though, is the weapons that they gave them completely different. The hands and feet are completely separate. They're not interchangeable, which I like. And the other thing was, it is a unique idea to have those individual characters with slight touches on the molds. Good idea, just bad execution, especially with the color palette.
Well, the color palette was supposed to be red, teal, and white, if I understand correctly.
Right.
But I don't
silver.
see any...
It was silver.
Silver? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
And not red. It
same
was like
spectrum.
magenta, teal, and silver.
Yeah, that's just not a good mix.
Let me throw this out. When you say Sea of Rust, what colors do you guys imagine?
You're absolutely right, and that's what I've been thinking too. You come from a quote-unquote Sea of Rust area, and you're going to be kind of a sickening-looking color anyway. So it does mix with Sea of Rust. I totally agree with you on that.
When I thought this Sea of Rust, I was thinking, more of the muddy brown, some more darker colors, but yeah, like I said, the muddy brown, probably silver, maybe a red.
Yeah. I think the colors work for what you're saying. The Sea of Rust,
This is
that
what I think of
magenta
Sea of
works.
Rust. Quantron.
Yeah, that's true.
Although,
Yeah. I think Scattershot's colors would have worked better on Victorion.
I do think I do think it's funny. I'm looking at one of the girls right now, one of the faces. It looks like they slapped on the Nightbird face. Has anybody else seen that?
I think that is the Nightbird.
Yeah, it is their Nightbird.
It totally is.
Yeah. I'm like, why are you throwing Nightbird face on there, especially with those colors? I mean, whatever. It's different.
Because Hasbro isn't coming out with Nightbird.
Well,
That release is out of Takara. So they're like, oh, we built this mold. Let's go ahead and throw this on an American release in a different color, and it'll be totally fine.
Yeah.
I think it was more so of it's just one way to easy opportunity to place Nightbird, even though Nightbird's a female, into a female line.
Yeah.
I thought we were getting the American release of Nightbird.
Nope.
No, they are just the Japanese.
Just like Groove.
Yeah, Legends line, Transformers Legends line.
$40 and it's yours.
I'm gonna get those three later. I'm not getting the airplane one. I'm getting. I plan on getting Black Arachnia as well as Nightbird. But even though they're Takara, they look good. I'm okay with Takara.
Yeah, they look gorgeous.
We're not getting Black Arachnia either.
No, that whole
Not an
set that they
American.
revealed. No, North America's not getting it.
We getting shafted.
Oh, come on! We don't get shafted. We get some good stuff that other people. You want to talk about getting shafted? Move to Britain, England, Germany, then,
Australia.
Yeah, Australia. Then talk about getting shafted.
The internet. That's what
is it? Australia's
That's what Eddie's
getting.
for.
Yeah, the only thing
Push the
Australia is
turquoise
getting
ships
is a
too, like
custom
GTA.
painted Starsaber MB.
Okay, let's move on to Betatron. So Betatron is basically, again, correct me if I'm wrong. Betatron is basically going to be scattershot with a bunch of the regular G1 characters slapped onto him for Betatron. For now, is what we understand. I've heard rumors that we will be getting the rest of the guys.
I am trying not to judge until I see the IDW storyline that backs it up. Because that's what this line is about. This isn't about our G1 nostalgia, even though it ties into the like how awesome combiners were back then.
It's tapped into that on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally like building on that, but the line is tied to the G1, or not the G1, the IDW storyline. So that's where these robots are coming from. So I'm not going to judge on that Transformer until that combination, until we see what IDW says about it. Although it would make sense for Hasbro to just co-opt the groove that Takara is putting out and make it one of the limbs for actual Computron, and the rest are easy remolds.
So I'm a little confused about that. Is this supposed to be Computron, or is this? I don't get the logic behind the Betatron.
Nobody knows. The only thing that we know is it's scattershot at the core with G1 Autobot limbs.
My heavy listening of podcasts over the past few weeks, the one thing I've heard was somebody at STCC said the way they described it was difficult to translate in articles and written word and etc. But they kind of said it was like beta tapes were to VCR. The beta tapes came first, and then the more popular VCR came along. So the way that sounded, again, saying it like that's weird, but the way it made it sound like was Betatron's going to come first and then give us a little bit, and we'll have the rest of the guys. They didn't quite say that because maybe they can't, but that's kind of what I gathered, is that just give it time. If they can do it, they'll do it. If not, then we're out of luck. But
I'm expecting heavier stuff to be revealed at New York Toy Fair come February.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are waiting for that.
And the only other thing I want to say about this is, like, they can release a lot more Voyager robots than they can full sets of limbs for them.
Yeah.
We're getting two Voyagers per wave and only enough limbs to cover one combiner per wave.
Although the only thing I like about that scattershot is the whole nose cannon thing, but the rest of it kind of looks like crap to me. I'll still buy it, but it kind of looks like crap.
It looks like a decent remold. There's enough parts that are different.
Yeah.
To differentiate it between Silverbolt in alt mode, but bot mode and combined mode, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, and my problem with my only problem with it in alt mode is it's basically the robot underneath. Now it's not just wings, but now it's see-through hollow wings, where you can see more of the robot hiding underneath the jet, and that's where I have a problem with it. I can accept it with Silverbolt as well as with the other guy that used that mold, but
Cyclonus.
Yeah, Cyclonus, but I can't. I'm going to have a hard time accepting it with Betatron with those sparse wings that he has. But the robot mode I'm fine with. He looks similar, but color-wise and everything, the face, I can deal with that. I've had plenty of remolded bots like that. If anybody else has something to say about Betatron or Scattershot, say it now or forever hold your pee.
I've got a G1 Scattershot that I was actually just looking for.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's actually a triple changer, which not a lot of people are mentioning. He has like the ship mode, robot mode, and then like a sort of ground cannon mode.
Oh, you mean the crotch mode?
That's a separate one.
Well, in that case, he's a quad changer because he also turns into a body. Uh-oh, look at Joe. Look at Joe. He beat you to it. Joe beat you to it, Joe.
Oh, I'm going to Jason Rose you.
So, Burton, can you show us the cannon mode? Is that something you know about?
Cannon mode.
I tell you what. While Jeff and Joe try and figure out where and or how to transform their scattershots into cannon mode. Okay, so I think we already mentioned a little bit. Anybody excited for Skylinks? Because I know I am.
I am.
Yeah, I got chills when they announced it at BotCon. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. The shuttle mode's kind of off, but I'm okay with that. But everything else, I really want to try the fan mode for the links, where you basically fold the shuttle underneath the links and get its head to pop up. I want to see if that works. Oh, goodness gracious. So there's Jeff's cannon mode.
I told you.
Come on, show that crotch mode again, Jeff.
Crotch mode.
Crotch mode.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Red Rocket, Red Rocket.
If Jeff wasn't wearing pants, I don't want to see the cannon mode.
I wear pants.
All right. So, does anybody want to throw this out? Here's a question for y'all, and if y'all want to answer it willy nilly, go ahead. Your hopes or what your fears for the future of Combiner Wars line?
Well, I think Hasbro's even said like we've only got through 2016. 2016 is going to be the end of Combiner Wars. Like at the end of 2016.
I thought they were pushing it to the 17.
2017 is the last I heard.
I heard that end of 2016 is the end of it.
Well, let's go off the idea of 2016 as the end of it. So they're not going to release Bruticus and then half a combiner with Betatron and then call it quits, are they? If they only have 1 year, don't you think they would have more?
Well,
it would go into early 2017.
Yeah, I think that perhaps the G2 stuff might end up being the 2017 stretch out, re-release some stuff and different paint jobs, get more money.
Yeah, that's a good, because there are going to be people playing this.
2017, the quest for more money.
Yes.
I actually hope they do Predaking.
Well, yeah,
that was on the table.
Hasbro definitely said they would be doing Predaking, and that Skylinks mold is going to be retooled for Leo, whatever his name is.
So yeah, third mode.
Razor Claw,
yes.
Okay.
I have a feeling Predaking will be the San Diego exclusive next year, just like they did with Devastator. All Voyagers.
Yeah, so they'll have a. Wait, you think they would do all Voyagers for Predaking?
I have a feeling that they would.
I don't think they're going to do another Titan class combiner.
If Titan Wars is the next line or subline, I have a feeling that it will be.
I'm not sure because Devastator didn't do very well at San Diego. It didn't sell out. All the previous ones they've done, Metroplex. What was the other one?
Was it because they also showed the
Verticus.
Takara in like the same week? I
They
mean,
do Fort Max.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
yeah, like within like 2 weeks period, all three sort of opened up and like here's everything. It's like, well, if you're going to San Diego, why would you get it like, except for bragging rights when you know the Takara one's on the way?
Yeah, so I'm not sure that they'll do that again because it was huge and they didn't sell out.
Unfortunately.
Well, if I was them, I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, Jeffrey, transitioning into the Titan Wars line. Yeah, they've already announced that they're going to do a Fort Max.
Have they announced it, or was that a slip up?
Of a Metroplex repaint for that. Which
everybody's said it was going to be just a retool. A retool of
there's
Metro.
like a headmaster as well, right?
That's going to be a disaster.
Yeah, the schematics that they showed at BotCon on those panels, that was a misprint. The Titan War name, logo, all the other, the blaster, everything that they showed on those display boards wasn't supposed to show up there. I think they were supposed to wait for those till February.
Well, okay, you say that, but if they're going to be going through 17 with Combiner Wars, then that means Titan Wars ain't coming out until the end of 17 or at least 18, right?
Well, Hasbro said that it's been mentioned that Hasbro wants to do a Titan a year. So expect a Titan in 2016, expect a Titan in 2017.
Okay.
Well, could it be, what was the name of that line? Was it the Cybertron line when it all of a sudden became the Unicron battles? Could it be just like that where it just changes over? It's the same line, but they just use some kind of subtext on it?
Just like with, what was it, Revenge of the Fallen turned into Hunt for the Decepticons?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Human Alliance.
It's kind of going to generations.
Just start calling it Generations. We'll just start calling it Chug. Instead of CW, it's now Chug.
Everything's Generations. The TF4 movie line was Generations, Age of Extinction. The Combiner Wars is Generations Combiner Wars, if you look at Hasbro's official documentation for it.
We'll go from CW to Disney Channel. See what I did there? Because
CW.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know what's doing.
DX. The DX.
So, as far as Titan Wars is concerned, we know that's coming up. and we've seen a little bit with the schematics with that whole background thing. But we did have that picture released of the blaster. Now, the one thing I'm hearing people say they like it, and I'm hearing people say they hate it, and it's all because of the play factor of the toy itself. And a couple arguments about, the face is like not the cartoon face, and the bot mode looks really boxy, yada yada. But a lot of people seem to be bitching about the play mode where he turns into a base and everything's kind of like MicroMasters style. Y'all have thoughts on the toy and what you think about that in general?
I got one. I have a dark confession. I actually like the MicroMaster line. It was fun, especially for kids. Kids, definitely for kids that could not afford toys. They got that one toy for Christmas or for birthday, and it turned into a battle set. I like the idea, believe it or not. It was a cool concept back then. Unfortunately, it was the last of the line for the Transformers before they disappeared for a few years. But it was a cool concept, and I'm kind of glad they're bringing it back.
I like the idea, and I think they're probably using the transition into releasing Mask again.
Yeah.
Is that rumor confirmed or not? About because I keep hearing
Yes, it was. It was in their call with their investors and all that. They were talking about different. There were 3 different sections. There were the well-known ones. There was another one they're working on, and then there was planned. And I think Mask was in the planned section. And the logo that they used, well, at least on the websites, the logo they were used was the original old school Mask logo. That'll probably change. But yeah, it's the name's out there. Hasbro's said the name already.
I mean, I know they never lost the licensing for it. I know that.
Because didn't they use it for what was it? Was it Dark of the Moon, or was it Revenge of the Fallen when they used the just the vehicles and that weapons pop out, the battle modes or whatever?
That was Dark of the Moon. I know what you're talking about. It was the little cars like that.
Yeah.
It was the racing cars, the NASCARs, right? Or
they also did it with the other characters.
Yeah, exactly.
They did it with Prime. They did it with Megatron. There's some of the other characters had it too. And don't forget, I realize this is kind of consequential, but in the Prime series, whenever the 3rd season, I believe it was the 3rd season, when Optimus Prime drove up in his new alt mode. I forget the words they used, but they said, "Yeah, you just scanned a truck from our mobile assault command."
Yeah.
Something. It's Mask and mobile assault special command. So it's spelled out Mask, and everybody's like, "Ah!" It was like a Mask Transformers crossover. Everybody flipped out. So once I heard that, I mean, you gotta. They've been using it. It's on their mind.
We've always had Matt Tracker in the GI Joe line.
Right.
Do know that infamous name has never left the GI Joe line, and every fan freaks out whenever it does hit in the GI Joe line. So I mean, that was always the confirmation that they never lost the licensing. So.
Well, also, from what I understand, is in order to keep a name or a license, they have to use it so many times in a certain time period.
Correct.
So the one thing that I'm looking at, as far as that whole toy is concerned, I love the fact that it turns into a tiny little base. Exactly what Robert just said. Kids can get that thing and play with it and mess with it. I think it excites me. Now, I'm not going to hate on anybody for their opinion, but if you're going to hate on a toy for one of its features when you're just buying it because of the character it represents, you're pushing the envelope. The toy's meant for little kids, and there's got to be a point where just making these figures, just the robot that turns into a plane, a car, a truck, gets a little old. Now, when you get to the point where you make a robot that turns into, I know, right? For kids, not for us.
Hasbro doesn't care about us.
When you get to a point where you are making a robot that turns into a box that plays cassette players, or cassettes, what's a cassette? You got to change it up a little bit. So I'm perfectly fine with the whole base mode from Blaster and probably Soundwave as well.
And I like that idea that they did back in, what was it, early on generations when they just started doing the Voyagers again with the Blaster and the Soundwave and the data disc.
Mm-hmm.
That was a neat interpretation for them to do.
Yeah.
Oh, the Fall of Cybertron versions, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the data disc kind of fell flat. People were excited. I was excited. I got a couple. I got them all, actually. Yeah, I
same here.
but
Everyone
I
got
can,
those things.
I can understand everybody saying I don't like it, but you got to come up with something. You got to do, especially with those two characters. You have to come up with something clever, and I think turning it into a little micro base, and even the
Just get Mighty Max.
Mighty Max.
Ooh, good.
Oh man,
You can bring back Tim Curry too as a voice.
that's right.
Gosh.
So yeah, we got Titan Wars coming up. We got that picture. You know, we'll have to. We can all say what we want to say about it, but Robert's going to eat his camera.
Look at that rip set.
You know, Robert, have you ever thought about getting any of you ever thought about getting the repro labels for Unicron and taking the jaws apart so you can put the repro labels on the inside of the mouth to make it look like he's munching stuff up?
I just did that.
Just
What?
did that.
On that one?
Yeah.
Just did that on camera.
Get my fingers in there. And,
Oh,
that's it. That was $14 right there.
oh.
Those, I think it's a total of like 12 stickers. I think, and it was like $12 or $14 right there.
Now he came with different options for what you're going to put behind the jaws, though, right?
Nope. It's only one option and one option only.
I swear I've seen different ones, but okay.
I was under that impression too, but there is not actually. It's just this sticker. That's it.
Lies.
Hey, what do y'all think about Unicron for Titan Wars?
It's gonna happen.
I'd be down for that.
I want it.
Like, he's more than a Titan. He's like, isn't he eating like a third of the multiverse or something? I need Pat to confirm these statistics.
Was it Make Toys that put out the April Fool's? Yes. That's great.
The fathead.
You need coin.
The size of your doorway.
The sad part is people were ready for that too.
Oh yeah, I know Steve would have been dishing out for it.
Hell yes.
It was bigger than a room.
That's
Like I
fine.
said, I do like a big fathead of him if I had the wall space in here. But yeah, I'd buy
All right,
that.
guys, I'm gonna blow through this real quick. So I did put this down as a topic because I am interested in what people have to say about it. I was talking to Ed at the meetup, and I said the Voodoo figures look great. I love the Voodoo guys, but I'm gonna stick with Takara because it's official, and I can deal with a big diaper. I was wondering how long that would go on for. I just figured I'd keep going. But either that or you're really bored with this conversation and you wanna eat it up or
The wrap up music.
yeah, wrap up music. No, the wrap up music is provided to us by Jason Hernandez. Please find him at I forget his names on Facebook and all that right now.
Please
I'm
find
horrible.
us at google.com.
What was that?
You can find him on google.com.
There you go.
I think every time you talk about Unicron, that music has to be played.
You know what? I'm really sad just because of Fuse review. I'm really sad that thing doesn't have a voice chip that says I am Unicron from the movie. I want a voice chip that says I am Unicron in that dude's voice. I forget his name that voiced it
Orson
right now.
Welles.
Orson Welles. Oh,
Yeah.
what a voice.
Yeah, that was great.
That movie had an amazing cast. I believe Eric Idle, Leonard Nimoy, Orson Welles, Peter Cullen, of course. I mean,
Robert Stax.
Robert Stack. Unsolved Mysteries.
Did Leonard Nimoy phone in his performance?
No,
No.
not at all.
No?
He
And
didn't use
also
one
they got the
friend.
Micro Machines guy to be Blur.
Yeah.
oh man.
Cole, did you go to? Okay,
I'm
trying to think what it was called. The Hall of Fame. No, it wasn't the Hall of Fame. It was the auction.
The silent auction.
No, well, there was what's his name? The guy, the Micromaster guy, voiced the auction for.
Oh,
Oh my God.
no, I missed out because I was hanging around with my buddy Matt Frank, Thomas Deere, and our other buddy James Toplin, and we were just sitting in the bar next to the hall, just chilling, drinking, and drawing. Because we started eating dinner like just before the show started.
because I really wanted to. I would love to see that guy doing an auction. I think it'd be great. Anyway, little.
Well, I did see him doing the script reading, and that was pretty freaking hilarious.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Okay, Fans Toys has Grimlock, quote unquote, coming out. What do you think? Do you think you would sell your MP Grimlock to get that Fans Toys Grimlock, or would you get it as well as the MP Grimlock? What is y'all's idea on that? I will be getting the Takara Ironhide over Voodoo just because it's Takara.
That gave me a little bit of anxiety. I am amending my will right now to be buried every one of my Grimlocks. I will never part with any of them.
Evidently, this guy liked robotic dinosaurs.
It's the best one. I will get it. I will not get rid of any of my Grimlocks.
Specifically, the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think you just have to keep Grimlock because he's the only one that Hasbro and Takara is probably going to make anyway. So why not just keep and then get the other one, Fans Toys, if you're gonna get it. Maybe Giga will probably drop theirs or something and be done with it.
And by the way,
I have zero hope for Giga. Giga is just they came out with whatever the name is, and it's gone completely, utterly quiet now. What is going on with Giga?
Well, same thing out of Shuriking's group, the GC Creations. Yeah. We haven't. I mean, we've seen like what the next bot is supposed to look like, and then the render of the full combine. But we haven't heard much.
Shuraking's next figure is actually on the way. It should be here in a week.
Fantastic.
And Giga Power is still working on stuff. They had to move. From what I understand, they moved factories, and they're sending me parts now to fix all the stuff from the first product. So they're still alive.
So Joe, you said like, are you going to keep like Fans Toys or the MP? We have so many Grimlocks on the way.
We just have so many Masterpiece dinos.
Yeah. I gotta keep size of bed because I'm gonna put them all in bed with me too. Tuck them all in. Read them stories. Tell Grimlock story. Okay, little Grimlocks.
I am interested. I do want to see more pictures of the Fans Toys Grimlock. I don't know what they're calling it. I forget right now. If anybody knows, you can
it's a
mention
grinder
that.
or something like that. So.
It's grinder.
That wasn't my D12, Joe.
You know, it would be interesting to get him. That way, the Fans Toys dinos could have their own location. You know, their own setup with all the right heights and everything like that. But the only reason why I'm mentioning Fans Toys is because aside from who makes Gooder?
Giga
Power.
Yeah, besides Giga, Fans Toys is the only one making the MP sized. And
the Shuriken Grimlock might be MP size.
Really?
The torso.
Jeff, what's your cat's name?
It's Tari. Tari.
I really wanted it to be Grimlock, but whatever.
I'm a gamer. Your name is Grimlock now. 12 years of Tari, now day one of Grimlock.
All right, that was my little question I had to y'all. I'll be torn. I'll be looking at that thing, you know, because I've already gone in on that particular line, so that's why I asked about that one. But does anybody else have anything you want to mention? Any other figures coming out that you're interested in? What have you?
Planet X Grimlock.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, gee whiz.
And for all Planet X.
Of course.
I love that picture of him biting the Voyager.
Flame Blast. Yeah, the Flame Blast Grimlock. Yeah, that was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Just how massive he is.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big bot.
All that articulation, a full chest too.
I'm searching it right now.
I mean, this isn't coming out soon, but at what was it, TFCon? All the announcements from MMC look amazing.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Mastermind Creation Mirage.
Speaking of MMC,
yeah, he looks fantastic.
With that drama drop, like showing all the things that the guy from MMC is part of, or is that?
Or that was Keith
KFC.
KFC.
Yeah, never mind.
starting rumors over here now. Come on
That's
now.
also wrong too. I saw that list. That it's not.
Like some of it's like it's kind of wishy-washy. Like assist with the distribution of it's like okay.
Well, in China, a lot of people assist with distribution of everything, so it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that was that was an interesting post that guy posted. I did like Robert's comment on whether this guy's going to have any downfall, but I mean, who cares? Who cares? Well, I tell you what. Let's talk about Devastator because I'm sure the majority of us got him, and that's kind of where we're at right now. All the toys we got, whatever you want to talk about. So, yeah, Hasbro Devastator. What do y'all think?
About time.
It's just a big bot. He is great, but he is just big.
He's very big. He's ridiculously big.
He has some weight to him, which I was surprised if.
You know, he does have weight, but I was playing with him and my Hercules, and my Hercules has a heck of a lot more weight. But, you know, of course, there's a difference in price, et cetera, et cetera. So,
And it's a great mold. I really like it. It's Combiner Wars done right for me. It looks right.
Yeah. Y'all gonna be getting the add-on kits, like the new heads
Yes.
and.
I am absolutely getting Perfect Effects set for him. Absolutely.
I've got it pre-ordered.
Yeah.
You got 4 pre-orders, Steve?
No, just one. I'm only going to open one.
Any of y'all repainting them?
That's too much.
Hasbro will.
Getting that Takara repaint.
Yeah, that's gonna be ridiculous. I kind of want to get that Takara as well. But you know, okay, if I get Takara, then they're gonna stay in bot mode, and if I even open them, and my Hasbro will stay in Devastator mode.
Like for Devastator mode, Hasbro's just as good to me.
I'm pretty certain that once they come out with the Takara version, whatever changes they have made, somebody's gonna replicate it. I guarantee it.
The Men's Warehouse?
What? Yeah, somebody will replicate. If not, I'm gonna hire somebody to replicate and sell the sets.
Toy Dojo
It's
special.
just money.
Yeah, I like them. The individual bot modes, I understand. I see their flaws, but again, I like them for what they are. They look cool. They're great representations. I can deal with no elbows because, frankly, he's going to be in Devastator mode the whole time. If I take him apart in Devastator mode, it'll be to play with him, to mess with the individual bots, but then right after that, he's going back into Devastator mode. So that's just how I see it.
Yeah, it's such a shame that the robots, the individual robots, are not so stellar because their head sculpts, all except for one, is fantastic for the character.
Yeah.
Oh, who's the odd one out?
Long haul.
Short and stubby.
Yeah, his head sculpt is not that great. It was sort of a
Afterthought.
phoned in effort.
You know what really surprised me was the ratcheted hips in Long Haul. And I understand why, because his hips are basically Devastator hips. But man, that thing's tight. Just for the little guy, when you put him in Devastator mode, it's not that big of a deal because you're dealing with such a big bot. But when he's the little Voyager size dude, it's like, dude, do you really need hips this tight? But I understand why.
He has hips of steel.
I've got hips of steel.
Joe's showing off the head. What do y'all think of the head? I love it. I know everybody was whining about the head and how ugly it is, but I like the head mode or head mold of Devastator.
It's a nice representation. I quite enjoy it. Although I'm kind of interested to see actually how the Takara version functions.
Yeah. Well, the head's big enough that I imagine the gearing will be easy enough. Oh, God.
It looks small in Joe's hands.
And that's what she said.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
Y'all left yourselves wide open.
For those who don't know, Joe is 9.
So did she.
What are we watching? Am I missing something?
Looking at Joe on webcam, he's playing with his Devastator. That's what he.
Oh.
That's
what he
what
calls
it's
it.
named for. His
talking about Joe's head.
Oh, man.
Okay, I don't have that feed.
I want to introduce you to Black Devastator.
Yeah, of course. No, I want to play with it too.
Oh man!
No, this thing, dude. My Devastator. Oh, you sickos.
So you both called
That's
it
what
the
they
same
call it now.
thing. That's pretty interesting. You can do a case study on that.
I thought Rodimus Prime would be the obvious name.
Rodimus what? No, that'd be Rodimus Minimus.
Rodimus Minimus.
Zing.
All right, so yeah, we all got Devastator. Anybody have any complaints about him? I mean, we said a lot of good things besides the individual bot modes. What about the overall? Any complaints about Devastator as a bot himself?
Oh,
I kind of wish I could figure out his leg.
I only have one complaint about it, and that's just the tires. I wish they, instead of doing the little, like the plastic where the tires just clip on, that they could have did something. I mean, I know if they could do this back in G1, hold on, let me see if I can get it there, with the little nail piece in there. I know they could have easily just put that in on this figure.
Well, that was
I'd like to
total
see a
cost
rubber tire
savings.
upgrade.
Yeah, rubber tire upgrade would be great.
Yep.
And those pins make that completely possible. Those pinch clip-on tires make that
Custom
completely
clips.
possible. If they were riveted on, that you'd no way.
But the only thing I wish that they would do to it, which they have plenty of silver paint apps on there, there's just a few more spots that they could add it onto it, especially the wheels, just to help it pop just that bit more.
Construction vehicles don't have silver wheels.
It doesn't matter. This is Devastator. It's not a construction vehicle.
There are 66 construction vehicles.
And most construction vehicles have silver rims on it, with the exception of the
No, they
treaded.
don't. They have the same color rims as either their standard paint or their black. Because silver is just going to get dinged up and banged. And
Well, most of the ones I've seen have all been chromed wheels, with the exception of the dump truck, the 18-wheeler dump truck.
I'm gonna Google this and count. First
Y'all go to your separate corners.
Vehicles.
Go to your separate corners. Wait for the bell.
Construction vehicles. I'm gonna Google image search the first 10. All right. First one, yellow like the thing. Second one, black. Third, black. Fourth, unpainted metal rust. Fifth, yellow. Can't see that one. Yellow. I think it's got either painted or.
Are those brand new?
They're all caterpillars. If they're yellow, they're caterpillars.
No, are they brand new pictures or like being in use pictures?
So
I'm looking at in use pictures of earth movers, and they are all matchy to their base color.
Yeah, the dump trucks, yes, they should be.
No, not just the dump trucks. The things that are the scoops.
So if they're matching the base color, are you saying that the wheels should be green?
Correct.
Oh.
Right. Yeah.
Well, then you're actually won.
If you type in 1980 construction vehicles, the
Ding,
very
ding,
first
ding,
vehicles
ding.
come. Oh bloody hell!
Or you
Even
say
Lego's
Joe?
yellow.
What comes
No,
up, Joe?
Type 1980 construction vehicles. The first ones that come up are green with green wheels.
We got Robert digging around at something.
I'm looking for a spudger. As a
Oh,
mixer.
Joe, I think you threw a year in there. The year doesn't matter. These things came out now.
Oh, they
you know what? Life art
It only
style
showed the young ones for me.
I posted a link in the Skype chat, and bam.
Dang, wow. This is getting brutal.
My free wallpaper construction. Oh, goodness gracious.
So that's one instance out of several?
Iron Man and
Cement truck.
Captain America tastes great in my drink.
Of all the things we could argue about with this thing, we're arguing about the color of wheels on Devastator.
We've got standards. Okay?
I do. Oh, I am excited about that. That does make me happy. That's the only thing we're really whining about.
And that stupid foot.
Well, that's the other thing.
Backwards mix master. God, he's remix master.
Well, the thing is that I don't understand is the way they did the foot make it look like a cab front. If they just left it as a engine cover, I think it would still been fine. I don't care if it's backwards Mixmaster, forwards Mixmaster, whoever. I don't care. It's a cement truck for all things.
Has anybody compared Devastator, the individual alt modes, to Ultra Magnus alt mode? And the reason why I asked is because everything I read said they were supposed to match up size-wise. Like the size of the cabs for the individual construction vehicles match up to the size of the cab for Ultra Magnus. Has anybody checked that out, or y'all heard that at all?
Has anybody seen the small, really small driver's side door on Ultra Magnus?
Yeah, I've looked at it a little bit. I haven't. I just got my Devastator today and opened it up this morning, so I haven't actually messed with it and checked it out. But yeah, I still want to. He does. Magnus does have really small doors and small cabs. So
That means he's freakishly huge.
Yeah, I like Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. He's cool.
All right, I got my not Devastator in front of me.
Hercules.
Is he hollow?
Hmm?
Is he hollow?
No, this is a real one.
The Japanese one.
EFC. Oh, and look, and check it out. It actually has silver wheels on it.
Yep.
I win.
There you go, Cole. You can get the TFC one, which nobody really likes anyway.
Already have it.
I like my TFC.
I like.
Yeah, I already have mine. I enjoy it.
Josh, you don't have a TFC?
Not at all.
Do you
No,
even have?
I do not like TFC style.
Do you have
It does
a
not.
Devastator?
It does not appeal to me. I have Make Toys. I have the Make Toys Green Giant, which
Oh,
is amazing.
I've got Mac Toys Yellow Giant, and I'm happy with that one as well too. It was an impulse buy definitely for TFC because we had not seen a Devastator that looked G1-ish in years.
Yeah.
So it was definitely an impulse buy. I won't sell it. I don't regret it. It's a great Devastator.
Yeah, I will definitely give TFC that. They were like, oh, people
They
need
were
combiners.
Mhm.
No one's done combiners yet. Here, everybody have some third-party, detailed combiners. And
Well, there's a trend. There's a trend to this. If you notice, when TFC did the combiner, everyone started doing combiners, and then when someone started doing Dinobots, everybody did Dinobots because whoever did it first was just selling out like crazy.
No, it's the same thing with Insecticons.
Exactly. Well, Fans Project did Insecticons a while ago, and no one really touched it until just recently. But they were doing this is masterpiece scale for the newer ones, but the other ones were just classic scale.
Eddie, what were you gonna say?
The whole combiners thing started with a lot of customs. I think people there's a bunch of custom Devastators that were up on the TFW boards that were getting sold for like thousands. And I think somebody took that idea and created a product out of it.
Yeah, good like any custom from Frenzy Rumble, he's going to charge you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, where is he? I haven't seen him post in a while.
He'll ghost every now and then. That's usually means that he's either doing commission sales, a commission project, or he's working on a big project and getting ready to sell it.
Oh wow, okay.
He does go quiet every now and then. I've noticed a tendency with him.
Well, besides Devastator, which is obviously the big thing, anybody want to talk about anything they got? I'll go down the list. Robert, go for it. You got anything you want to talk about?
I really have not gotten anything, honestly, besides repo labels. I have been saving up for the convention coming up for Peter Cullen and Frank Welker's signature. Bought a nice poster for that. Getting ready for that. That's about it, honestly. I've been really tight with my money.
Okay, cool.
And poor. Yeah, I forgot about that poor part.
Well, you know what, though? I admire the whole saving up for Welker and Cullen, because as much as I wanted to, I just couldn't find the money. I was spending it on Devastator and Triptychon. So, yeah. But so I admire your willingness to hold off on buying stuff. That's the hardest part.
Man, I missed out on that Triptychon. I'm still bitter.
Bitter?
Well, Jeff, I have a Triptychon. If you want them, I'll sell them to you for $500. I like how Joe laughed, and all of a sudden the image of Jeff giving me the bird went away very quickly. Okay, moving on. Joe, did you get anything? Man, you've been playing with toys all night long, dude. You got anything that you want to talk about as far as gets?
Man, as far as gets, it's a lot of stuff that's on my plate. One thing I did want to bring up though was the X Transbots, the Cyclonus and the Sweep. I don't. I'm still a little burnt and a little bit upset just from that Megatron. And every time I think about the amount that's paid for that particular item and just the lack of some of the stuff that I see whenever I mess with it or whenever I play with it or when I have it in the right lighting, man, it just burns me up.
Yeah.
So,
What exactly is burning you up on it?
well, first off, it was the foot, of course, that pivot. I guess I'm a little spoiled just because of fans' toys, because all of their figures, they have something real close to that type of pivot foot, but theirs just works. You know, it don't lean back and fall back. X-Transbot stuff do. The other thing I noticed is because if you look at the chest and you see all the different pieces that moves around and the way how they cut the plastic, you can see where it's uneven cuts everywhere. The paint apps on it is kind of off based a little bit on certain areas of it. Maybe I just got a bad one. I don't know, but
No, I don't think so.
Actually,
Are you talking about Apollyon?
Yes.
Polyon, yeah.
I have a story for you. One of our guys, one of the San Antonio guys, has Apollyon. We had the Ekman's Card and Comic Show a couple weekends ago, and it was on a shelf. And sadly enough, it was on the top shelf,
Oh
the
no.
highest part. It took a tumble, but it did not break. It took a good 6 foot, 7 foot tumble.
Holy.
I've got two masterpiece Megatrons.
Oh God!
That have both fallen off of this ledge I've got up here.
Wow.
Oh.
One of them didn't survive. The other one's up there now, stuck in gun mode. I don't know if it's. Oh wait, it's over there. Well, shit.
Yeah, we saw it.
He fell again.
Well, at least he can get up.
Yeah, the foot, like one of the legs is cracked, and then the other one I've got has a big scar on his chest.
I'll throw my 2 cents in about Apollyon and X-Transbots. My Apollyon is good. I got no complaints. You know, the thing about Megatron, though, he's such an odd transformer. Going from a humanoid form to a gun mode is going to be difficult enough. Granted, I'm not going to say Takara tried their best because they didn't give it much time the first time around. But, you know, at the time they had their best guy on it. Ooh, that looks ugly.
Yeah, the scar right there.
Oh,
What was it? They were saying. I remember hearing one of the podcasts talking about that. The guy who was in charge of designing MP5 only had 2 weeks to do it.
Yeah. So, you know, even with more time, it's still going to be awkward looking to design that Megatron to be a perfect transformer as we'd like it to be. Is it possible? Yeah, sure. But I'm going to give X-Transbots the benefit of the doubt and say that they did the best job as far as the transformation. Quality-wise, I'm not going to step up for that. It's, you know, it is what it is. We all know what we're getting into when we buy from them. But as far as Cyclonus and the sweeps, I think that's going to be a heck of a lot better as far as quality and transformation, just because it's going to be an easier way of going from a spaceship to humanoid and like basically an inflatable boat to humanoid, whereas Apollon's going from a gun to a humanoid figure. So, you know,
I couldn't have said it any better than James. James,
I have a quick question. Is this a prelude into that we are going to get a Galvatron from them?
Ooh,
what does everyone think of that? I mean, come on, we got this. We're getting the sweeps.
Well, the rumor mill is that Hasbro's going to do it.
What, an MP?
An MP Galvatron.
And also MP Shockwave too.
Yeah, we've been hearing that for years now.
Well,
yeah,
that's what the third-party market is also hedging their bets on.
So who's making that triple changer Megatron that goes from gun to humanoid to tank?
What?
Mega Steel.
Huh?
Yeah, Eddie had that.
Mega
Yeah.
Steel.
Wait, that was the figure you had at the meetup?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't realize he was the one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He looks
Is it-
good robot mode.
Well, the Mega
No,
Steel is
just
done after
I
the
didn't even see
IDW
it.
one, right?
Yeah, he's done it for the early IDW, like the Megatron Spotlight, or the I forget the name of the comic book.
Not the All Hill one, right?
No, it was like the prequel story of how he became Megatron. I forget the name of it, but this is why we need you, Patrick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna move on. So who's next? We got Robert, Joe, Jeff. Did you get anything you want to brag about?
Quantron and MC Terminus or Synesis or whatever.
Cynicus.
Synicus. I broke him already though.
What?
Yeah, one of those.
Let me know what parts you need. And hey, Joe, let me know what's wrong with your Apollyon. I can try to fix too.
I mean, it's nothing. I'm serious. When I look at it, it's like it's nothing that would be like a box issue. I think it's just because I looked at some other people's Apollyon. I see somewhat of the same stuff on theirs too. So I mean, it's not like it's something that would be able to be fixed or anything like that.
Okay.
Everybody has the little weak ankles. Let me do about that.
Throw some furniture polish at those ankles and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Or even clear coat nail polish works too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe, I can tell you this. I used probably at least a shot glass worth of the floor shine on his legs alone. I'm not joking when I say that. And a shot glass worth of the future shine, that is a lot. It does hold him up, but if you look at the pictures of Megs in my Detolf, he's against the glass, and you know why. He's leaning against it. Yeah. I don't trust the chicken legs. I mean, the chicken legs were bad on the Takara MP. This one, I'm not trusting. That's why he's all the way in the back. I mean, but other than that, it is a great mix, nevertheless.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good rendition. So,
Hey,
The
Jeff,
thing that gets me
yeah.
is that we just found out, like at TFCon, Make Toys teased a masterpiece scale Megatron
Tank or gun?
gun. Yeah.
Bang bang.
Make Toys hasn't entered the masterpiece size yet.
Yes, they have with Cupola.
yeah, they have.
The
Who?
Cupola.
Oh, Cupola, yeah.
Cupola's in the masterpiece size. Their Hound is going to be, and so is their Inferno.
Oh, sweet.
The Hound is awesome.
That Cupola is so cool, but
Cupola.
I'm looking forward to the X-Trans bots.
Seriously.
What was it? Swerve and Tailgate?
Oh yeah, the Firebirds.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling them because that's their
Yeah,
model.
Firebirds.
I don't know. After their wheelie, I'm kind of hesitant to do anything about them.
The infamous wheelie.
Good lord.
I'm perfectly fine with my Jazz remold of Wheelie, the GDO model. Thank you
That's a
very
cool little
much.
piece.
Oh my
Jeff,
god!
we're
Have you
talking
guys
about
seen the Takara repaint of Blackjack as Runabout?
Yes.
I'm up for
Oh,
run
he's
amok.
awesome.
Cool. Jeff, you got anything else, or shall I move on?
I got one thing that's in a different vein, not a get. Oh, it will be a get. I ordered the little Make Toys like $13 Devastator, like little tiny little micro machines. And we're doing for the group. We're doing a little contest next meetup. Whoever has the best painted set of that gets a mystery Optimus Prime with a trailer that I own that I don't want anymore.
Cool.
Or the Citizen set Devastator.
Yeah.
The one Make Toys one is like $13.
Yeah, that's the Citizen set 01. I got that too. Picked it up at BotCon.
There'll be a contest. The best painted set wins.
Cool. All right, so let's move on. Josh, did you get anything you want to brag about?
Not really. Besides, nothing that hasn't already been mentioned. I got Make Toys Cupola, and I think he's amazing for Make Toys like first real masterpiece level Transformer. The transformation is very, very fun, and the detail is great, and he looks like the character walked off the screen.
The head doesn't look like a headmaster.
No, it looks fantastic. So I'm really, truly impressed with that toy. Besides that, Sever, pretty great as well. I mean, but he's just another Dinobot, and Tesla. and of course Devastator. That's-
Thoughts on Tesla? Let me ask you that.
So there's a few shortcuts that I think Fans Toys took, but what are you going to do with a humanoid that turns into a microscope?
Yeah. I'll agree with you on that one.
So he faces the same problem Megatron does. It's like it doesn't really turn into anything that really you can hide a human into very well. So, but otherwise, I like him. He's a very good representation of the character in bot mode, and he looks like a microscope in his alt mode. I'm not really complaining. I know some people have had some issues with like quality. They feel like they say they feel like he's going to fall apart, like he's cheap plastic. I don't think he's really that much cheaper plastic. I think they gave him like a little bit more flexibility because in some of the transforming steps you need that little extra bit of flexibility to get him into the right modes. So
yeah, I like what you said there. I agree with that completely.
What's up with everyone on the hate relationship with the face? Am I the only one that likes the face?
Of Tesla?
Let me go look at my face.
Tesla has a face only a mother could. I mean, only everybody could love it. It's just fine. Tesla's face looks a little like cartoonish, but otherwise it's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. The only thing I would say is the eyes, the eyebrows, how it just kind of like shoots up. But even then, I'm perfectly fine with the way he looks. I heard someone complaining about the lips the other day, but I'm fine with his lips. He's, whatever.
I think everyone got pissed because with Fans Toys we always had the option face to use, and so far I think it's besides of course Shockwave, he doesn't have a face, but all the Dinobots have come with an alternate face, and this is the first first figure that we're getting that does not have an alternate face.
He's also not a Dinobot. So what else has Fan Toys been doing?
Because we
Dinobots?
have become incredibly spoiled when it comes to Fans Toys, and everyone is saying that we are spoiled now.
We are.
Yes.
Plus, also look at it this way. The Tesla is a $120 toy. The Dinobots are $200 toys.
Yes. Granted, but once you start to spoil the masses, you know what happens.
That's true. All right, Josh.
Well, one more thing about Tesla is so we didn't get an alternate face, but we did get alternate color, like forearms and thighs.
Yeah, that was wicked. I wondered what that was, and then I went back and read around, found out. I like the dark blue. I don't need the light gray arms. I think it looks good, but it's not for me.
Can I have your light gray arms?
You want the light gray arms?
I have like some customers who have broken light gray arms, and it's only light gray for whatever reason.
Talk to me.
Let me borrow them until Fans Toys sends them to me.
Yeah, talk to me later. We'll work something out.
I want your light gray arms.
Well, you have a lot of things that I want, so maybe we can work it. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we'll talk later. All right, cool. Josh, you got anything else?
No, that's it.
Cool. Steve, talk to me. What you got?
Hold on, I'm in mid-sentence here. Hold on.
Let me know. With Steve, let me change that question. Steve, what have you gotten recently that you have opened up and put your hands physically upon?
Opened up?
Yes.
I think the last thing I have opened up is that Citizen Set 01. But I came home. I think you asked me about Tesla last night or the other night. So yeah, I do have Tesla and Cupola. I have a whole nother round of the Superion stuff. And I'm in my room right now, and I ran out of wall space, and now it's creeping up to my bar stool. Yeah, I think Cupola was like the latest thing. I grabbed that today from Eddie. I got my 2 Devies last night. Outside of that, me, I collect other stuff. So I've finished up my Exo Squad Robotech
nice.
collection. I'm gonna do repaints on those, and I got my Vallejo air paint set in, so I'm ready to start painting again. But yeah, toy wise, what have I opened up last? I don't know. No idea.
I tell you what, Steve. Let me ask you this: you commented on it last time, but was it Nathan that just got the what is it, X Goken, the Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Krang?
Oh,
He just posted on Facebook a little bit
no,
ago.
it was somebody, one of the new
Chris.
guys in the group.
It's Chris.
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 Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
need to talk to him about that. He got that thing posted up.
Well,
I
I
want
have
that so
I have
bad.
guys.
Yeah, I've been
in
chatting
Clubhouse. I think
with him
Steve
about it.
saw 'em.
Yeah, I
Wait.
have them.
Yeah.
I've got them. Joel has them. So that he posted. He said it was Chris. Is that his name? Yeah, he posted earlier this evening about it, and we're kind of going back and forth. That's an awesome piece. Yeah, maybe you know what? Maybe that was the last thing I opened up actually.
The more I see people posting about that, the more I want it. But the sad thing is, I don't collect turtles. You know, I got the 4 turtles from the current line, and then that's it. But man, that thing looks amazing, though.
It's the first true, real-looking Krang.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and what's it called again? Am I right? X Goken?
Yes.
I think it's first Goken, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
The
first
first-
Goken.
First Goken. Okay.
Yeah. I
Cerebral.
actually looked it up earlier today.
NTO1. He's right here, which you cannot see. And I have a big ass Ultra Magnus sitting here waiting, looking for a second home. So.
Oh gosh, stop it! I already said yes. Okay.
Actually, I got to get a hold of Paul about that. No, I think that was really it. I mean, I'm collecting, I'm getting lots of mail calls in, and half the time I forget what I've ordered, and it just sort of goes in a pile. So.
Cool, man. Well, let's move on. Cole, you got anything you want to brag about?
I don't have anything really to brag about, with the exception of my BotCon set stuff from back in June.
Yeah.
Other
Well,
than that,
what's your favorite BotCon set that you got?
from this last BotCon, I think my probably favorite would be the Diaclone set. Actually, really enjoy it.
That's the it's got the hoist and trailbreaker mold.
It's the red hoist and the black skids.
Okay. The black skids look cool. The only thing I like about the hoist trailbreaker, the red one, is the stickers on the side. What's it say? Toe or crunch or?
Don't have it with me. I think it says toe.
Toe. I just like the big sticker or tampograph, whatever it is on the side. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a tampographed. Most of it's all tampographed. I think the two big pieces I like from it were the skids, the way how it looked, that black with that just red stripe down the side, and then the General Optimus Prime. They're really supposed to repaint.
Yeah.
It's something about just I like it. I don't know what it is, but it's something. It's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. He looks pretty neat. All right. Well, cool. Well, if you got anything else, go for it, man. Otherwise, I'll move on to the next person.
Well, I was also during BotCon, I picked up the Shattered Glass from 2008 Jazz, which was one of my bucket list items, and then the 2012 Custom Class Shattered Glass RTS Jazz mold, the Shockwave long arm, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really have anything to brag about.
Hey, man,
Wish
you
I
went to BotCon, so you have enough to brag about.
So was Eddie there. So Eddie was there too. So
yeah, you got experience. That's what you got, and memories.
yeah, the second one would have been better if if all the guys here and you guys were able to make it up there too. It'd been a lot more fun.
Probably have more memories if he wasn't hitting the bar every night too.
Yeah.
Isn't the rumor mill going on right now that it's coming back to Texas?
The Sunday night before I left, I heard we were talking and overheard someone saying that it is rumored to come back to Texas.
Yay!
Fuck yeah!
Cool.
I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping it does. I don't care if it's Dallas, Austin, or San Antonio. I don't care. Texas is Texas.
2016 is going to be in where? They've already figured that one out. It's going to be in San Diego?
No. That's because only movie years, from my understanding, is for sure going to be in California.
Sorry, I didn't mean San Diego. I mean, so okay. Let me just ask this: they have not yet announced where they're going to be at.
No, the only one that has been announced was TFCon, and that's going back to Chicago for the U.S.
That's what I'm thinking of. All right, I was confused.
TFCon's coming back to U.S.
Yep.
It's North Carolina this year. Last year was Chicago, and then next year it's going back to Chicago for 2016.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed because if BotCon comes to Texas, I'm going, and I'll probably end up taking other people. So
I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna leave my wallet at home.
But yeah, if you guys do go, if it is in Texas, which I'm assuming and then hoping it is, best to do group stuff. Room one,
yeah.
carpool, everything, guys. That's what we did in 2012 with the group here. We ended up going like 13 strong.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
It was a blast. So trust me, it's even better when you do a caravan of 2 or 3 cars, walkie-talkie between. It's a blast.
I don't mind sleeping in a one of the
Bathtub?
hotel closets. No, I love the hotel closets.
If we do that, I get control of one of the walkie-talkies. I'm calling it now.
No singing. You got the touch the whole way.
All right, cool. And last but not least, Eddie, do you have anything you want to brag about, sir? It could be anything you got or anything you're getting in and you're trying to convince us to get.
Buy everything. I don't have anything to brag about. Although her new NP picks of Ironhide up on TFW right now, if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah, those are the ones I just picked. I just got earlier in the.
Man, Ironhide looks like a shell.
Well,
it's so hard to love.
Well, the crotch area isn't too bad from those pictures, but the other one, God.
It still just doesn't look so great.
Yeah.
That Prime 1 Studio bust looks pretty cool with Galvatron.
Hey, I'm gonna change subjects here for a moment. Did y'all hear about the Oculus Rift Devastator?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I want to see if there's video. I kind of clicked through the. What's that?
I have an Oculus Rift.
Do you?
Yeah.
Somewhere there is a wireframe Devastator that you can fly through using your Oculus Rift. I don't know if it's a program you can download or what, but it was at the Wonder Festival. I don't know. I didn't quite read it.
Yeah, it's on VR Focus.
Yeah, I was going to see if any of y'all could shed some light on that without me actually having to do any reading. But I guess I'll have to read.
Sucker.
All right. Oh, you know what are they? Mini cons from the new cartoon, and they were coming up with a wireframe full of battle armament and all that. Do you know what I'm talking about? Let me see if I can.
Oh, the RID launchers.
Yes, yeah, I saw those in the store, and I kind of want to buy them. They're like $5.
Where did you find those at? I've been looking.
I saw it at Target.
Okay,
And
Target probably getting them.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about those two. From the panel back at PotCon, they're saying all those extra armor bits. There's an extra piece in each set to form another little thing.
Oh wow! Like another character.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like a little Build-A-Bot.
Huh.
Nice.
It looks really cool, and I was about to buy one, but I didn't need to be spending the money because I knew I had Devastator coming. So, but yeah, he looks really cool. Those little dudes look really cool. So, they're out there. They're in the wild. I meant to post it, but I forgot. Yeah, I saw it at the Highway 35 and Highway 45 in Austin, in Round Rock area, at that Target. So, if you're looking for that, well, we're at the end of the topic list. Usually what I like to do is just go down the list of pre-orders that are available right now, and just get y'all to say yes or no to them. So let me load that up, and we will take a look very quickly at what's available.
We have to wait. Come on now.
I know, right? Stupid technology. Well, I gotta use my iPad because my computer's too old. Oh, I had the wrong
I can
button.
maybe fill the gap a little bit while James is loading that up. Something I forgot, something not Transformers related that I picked up was the Mortal Kombat X figures from Mezco Toys. Those are fantastic. They look exactly like they walked out of off the screen of the video game.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, those are pretty neat. I like them. All right, let's go down the. Wait, but you bought those, right? You bought the Mezco guys?
The Mortal Kombat X figures, yeah, I have the first wave. I have Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, and I even got the SDCC exclusive, the Toys R Us exclusive, Glowy Raiden. I haven't pulled him out of the package yet, but I've got him and I plan on playing with him soon.
Those are the figure skaters, right?
I would like to put my 2 cents in real quick. I don't know if anybody's forgotten. I keep paying attention to the website. Hasbro Toy Shop, whatever
HTS.
On Tuesday. Yep.
On Tuesday, yes. Don't want to forget. Because I know there's going to be those people that are going to forget and go, I missed out.
Well, so what are they launching like at midnight on Tuesday? Like
No,
or is it
10
like 10
a.m.
a.m.?
A lot of people are going to be hitting the refresh button. I know that for sure.
Oh, I did that last year. That was
Five.
Yep. Click, 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 click. Wow.
Well, the good thing was the Google Chrome was able to automatically refresh. You were able to set it to refresh automatically.
Nice.
So I got lucky there.
Talking about the Mezco Scorpion is what I wanted to ask about. Does anybody know why in the world they did not include a separate head? I mean, it's Scorpion. He pulls his mask off and it's a skull. Is it because he doesn't actually do that in the new game?
Yeah, he doesn't do that in the new one.
See, that stinks.
Unless you do the classic.
Yeah, if you do the classic fatality, which is not part of the official MKX storyline, yes, he does that. But
DLC.
But he's not the original Scorpion.
Oh, that's sad. Let's go down the list real quick here. Anybody buying the what is it? G2 colored Fans Toys dinos? No.
Crickets.
You lost me at
G2.
Crickets.
Colored Grimlock. Is anybody on this podcast who maybe collects a bunch of Grimlocks going to buy the G2 colored Fans Toys Grimlock?
I'm a G2 collector, but I'm not gonna go after that.
Well, there's not a G2 colored Fans Toys Grimlock yet.
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 But Batman needs to do it for justice. I'm pulling that from another podcast.
Don't talk to me. I'm on that business.
I gotta call him out. He's wearing a Batman mask. At least he turned off the disco lights. It's like Club 52 or whatever it was. I don't know this. I don't know.
You've only adopted the darkness, Batman.
Okay.
It really seals in the flavor.
Fans Toys Insecticons. Are we getting any of those?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm getting all of those.
All right. Next, I got on the list is Bad Cube. You got two of the Sunstreakers coming out. You got Bad Cube and then the
Omnigonics.
Omnigonics. Anybody want to commit to one of those?
Bad Cube.
The Bad Cube one looks interesting, but I'm not saying yes until I see a review.
Yeah.
I like the way that Bad Cube looks.
Oh, I'll agree. It looks good, but just like for the same reason I'm not buying their Insecticons. It's like they do look okay, but watching the review, they seem a little short of spectacular.
So does anybody own the Bad Cubes bot, the Insecticons?
I have a lot of them.
Buy them from toydojo.com.
Do we need to edit that part out too?
I actually have them right in front of me.
You brought them today to meet.
Moving on, who's going to buy which Hound? Who's buying Fans Toys Hound? Who's buying Make Toys Hound?
There's something you have to wait to review.
Yeah.
Eddie says buy all of them.
From him, specifically.
I think
from toydojo.com.
The Make Toys ones I saw in person, they're phenomenal. They're pretty cool.
You like the Make Toys Hound, Eddie?
Yeah, I like that. But Fans Toys, the diecast, is going to be great too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm at a toss-up.
Buy them
I've
all.
always been a big fan of Fans Toys, so it's hard for me to say right off the bat I'm going to somebody else until I see all the other figures. I want to see, I want to see what they look like.
Yeah,
So-
I would like to see Make Toys start making some more headway with their Masterpiece bots before I start committing to that line, because Fans Toys already has Masterpiece dinos, and their Masterpiece, like other characters, are starting to look pretty good. And to stay with that aesthetic, switch aesthetics. That's going to be difficult for a collection.
I'm going to throw two more figures out there, and y'all can say yes or no or talk about it. Masterminds Creations Spartan. That's what's the character's name? I can't think of it now.
Impactor. That's Impactor, right?
Impactor. Yes, he looks great. I love him, and I kind of want to get him.
He looks good, but he's just he's a wrecker, right? He's like one of the wreckers. So,
but I'm a fan of the wreckers.
So that is something occurred to me. Didn't MMC show off an Overlord?
Yes, they also showed off an Overlord. They just in their just announced series from TFCon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, the Diaclone thing. Sorry.
Need it.
What Diaclone thing?
It was on that same news post from TFW from that toy fair.
Yeah. That's gonna be wicked.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it shows the picture of it falling over.
I just noticed the Unique Toys buzzing pictures on websites still have the elongated crotch.
That's a feature.
It folds
it's an
away.
add-on fit.
We're spoiled by the crotches.
First we were complaining about ankle tilts, now we're complaining about popping out crotches.
Yeah. Okay, last one I'm going to ask about, and then y'all can do whatever you want real quick. But Transform and Rollout TR01, which is that Jazz.
Yes. Yes.
So,
I love it, and at the same time, it looks great, but it doesn't quite match the style of Masterpiece.
Yeah, it looks like a drawing instead of a actual car.
Oh,
looks like a drawing of a car.
Good.
The legs bother me.
I don't care. It's a Porsche, it's Jazz, and it's getting a
But it's
Masterpiece
like-
scale figure. I'm down. I don't care. Jazz, anything.
Looks like a cat about to arching its back a little bit when it's in alt mode.
Well, that's how that Porsche was. That Porsche 935. That's how it
No,
was.
it's not the top of the car. It's the base of the car is curved.
Yeah.
Like the undercarriage has a curve to it.
Yeah.
Eddie, you were going to say something?
I hate the legs. I think it looks horrible.
Yeah, I agree with that. The legs and the kibble at the bottom. I mean, I'm okay with car kibble on robots, but it just looks like he stands up and the back wheels just stay in place where they are.
Yeah. That company needs to release that quickly before anyone else steps in and releases Jazz.
Yeah, if they release it now, then they will sell that thing like hotcakes. But if they take their sweet time, they're going to run out, and somebody else is going to come along and release a Jazz.
Yeah, toys.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to ask, you guys got anything else you want to say? Because I'm all about what y'all want to say, not about what.
Fuck at that little foot on Devastator.
Here we go.
Followed by a swig of scotch right from the bottle. Perfect.
Fuck that mixed master.
He's a little
Hey,
foot. He's a little tiny foot.
Hey, Jeff.
I don't think it's too bad.
Dr. Wu is coming out with a whole replacement robot just for you.
I know. I saw that. I don't
Here you
know.
go. Hold on, let me pull
That's
up.
his first full robot.
I know.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That's why I mentioned it.
Here we go. Right there. It's also on the Make Toys. TFC.
Is Toy Dojo going to carry that Dr. Wu?
Very likely. It hasn't been offered yet, but most likely.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end it here. I appreciate y'all talking with us, all of y'all different guys. But like I said, this is the biggest crowd that we've had on this podcast. And as much as I would love to continue it on, I think eventually we have to just kill it with fire. So I'm throwing a big bonfire right now. I'm just going to toss this podcast in it and dance around it.
Marshmallows?
Yeah, we behaved pretty good, except for me. I've been a bit mouthy, and I think I walked over a couple people.
James is praying for rain.
I'm sorry for that.
James is doing a rain dance with the podcast.
Well, Jeff, you didn't really mouth off. You just drank and got drunk. So you're like 4 sheets to the wind right now, aren't you? Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
I'm good.
I will say this: of this little RoboCop that I got, yeah, I like NECA, but this whole leg feature, it's really cool when it does that. But pushing it all back in, scary as heck, man.
Does that have a gun in there?
What's that?
Little gun in there?
Yeah, the gun's right here actually.
Okay.
But putting the gun in there is really difficult to get back out, so I just kind of leave it out. But and he also comes with the spike hand, so that was cool. But I don't know. See, there we go.
There's a little Optimus head I printed out earlier.
Dude.
Nice. It turned out pretty good.
That's cool.
All right, guys. Well, once again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Just do it for the fun of it, and we record it and let y'all listen. So hope you all enjoy it. Once again, we got Cole from San Antonio group. Cole, what's the group's name?
Cybertron's Elite.
All right.
Tonight's
Tonight's
podcast brought to you by Toy Dojo and Talisker Single Malt Scotch Whiskey, 18 years.
Not sold by Toy Dojo, by the way. Just
not sold by Toy Dojo. Someone super can say that.
For Jeff, Robert, Steve, who else we got in here? I don't have names up. Sorry, guys. My brain doesn't work that well. You make me feel bad now. Joe, Josh, we got Eddie from Toy Dojo. Yeah, all you guys. And I'm inconsequential. I'm just the guys in school. Hey, stop making fun of me. Alright, guys. Well, have fun. Thanks. And we'll talk to y'all later.